To show our people that we might be seeing the world right at war right now, but some of us might think, well, these nations have their army. What army does Israel have? The true Israelites on them have to defend them, right? What we should be looking for is not man defending us, but the Mosai defending us. And how he would defend us is by he would be giving us the strength to go after these nations and them, but in his time, right? Being in this flesh, we like everything done immediately and, according to how man might think, but not knowing that we can't go according to what it is what we believe the Mosai should do, or when he should do it, right? But we have to move on the timing of the Mosai, right? This is to show that the Mosai going and defend Israel, right? And we shouldn't look towards man to be defended, right? This is the book of Isaiah, the whole Micah 5 and 7 to 9, right? So this is the book of Isaiah 41 and 13. Right, to say, book of Isaiah 41 verse 13. For I, the Lord, thy God, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee. Right, so in this time of trouble that we see going around the face of the earth, nations standing up against nations, fighting, sometimes you would see some of our people wanting to join sides with these nations and them, right? Saying that the hope this one win or that one come and save them, not knowing that we should be looking towards the Mosai for salvation, right? For salvation is being saved from your enemies. And all these nations together, collectively, is the enemy of the Israelites on them, right? Fear not thou worm, Jacob, and ye men of Israel, right? So the reason why the Mosai call us a worm, right? A worm have no defense against a bird or any form of predator, right? So we don't have no defense against these nations and them, right? We don't have no nuclear, we don't have things that these nations them have to defend themselves or be offensive, right? So therefore our defense is in the Mosai, right? Again, verse 14, Isaiah 41 and verse 14. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Right, so the Mosai is the Holy One of Israel. Right, not the armies of men or whoever we might think, would be protecting the nation of Israel.
That's a good thing now. That's a good thing now. Yeah, we out there showing people who we are according to the Bible. Yeah, but you can't take. Alright.
Right? Verse 15. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Right? So the Mosai going and give us the power physically to fight back with these nations and to conquer these nations, right? Thou shalt thrash the nations and beat them small, right? So if the Mosai going and give you the ability to thrash these nations, then right, bring them down to nothing, even protect their own self against the Israelites and them, right? So it makes no sense to understand that. To believe in these nations and knowing that in the end they can't even defend their own self, right? As we see right now, America can't defend itself against this war that they're pushing right now in the Middle East, right? Even America and Israel, the land of Israel, join up together to fight Iran, and both of them can't defend themselves, right? One of the two most powerful countries in the world, right? Which is America. The next one appearing is so-called Israel, which we know is just a false flag, right? Verse 16. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and they and the whirlwind shall scatter them, and thou shalt rejoice in the Lord, and thou Slakia, and shall glory in the Holy One of Israel, right? So the Mosiah is showing us here that we don't need to depend on these nations and them, but they can't even defend themselves from one another. Must just when the Mosiah give us that divine power to go against these nations and them, right? So putting trust in these nations that can't do nothing makes no sense, right? So bring this up, Micah.
This is Micah, the 5th chapter, so 7 to 9. So it says, the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people, as the dew from the Lord, as the showers upon the grass, that tarrieth not for man, nor waiteth for the sons of men. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep.
Bring it back from the top again.
Verse 8. It says, and the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion.
Right, so we know that a lion is a predator, right, in the jungle, which part it is, right? So the Mosiah is saying in that day he's going to give us such power, we will be the predators in that day, right? Preying upon these nations and them, bringing justice, right? And paying them back for the things that they have done unto the nation of Israel, even destroying the Mosiah creation, right? Polluting the air, the water, anything they touch, right? They're bringing death and destruction to it, right? Continue reading.
And it says, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who, if he go through, go tread it down and tear it in pieces, and none can deliver.
Right, so nobody will be able to deliver these nations and them from the hand of the people of the Mosiah, which are the Israelites, right? We go in and what? Tear them in what?
It says, tear it in pieces.
Right, so these nations and them, all the technology, all the bombs, all the missile, the whatever it might be, the tanker, all these things, will not be destroyed. Right, so us wanting to be a part of them, to serve them and be amongst them, looking for salvation, knowing that them can't even save themselves, makes no sense. Right? So, you have more now?
Verse 9, it says, thine hand shall be lifted up upon thy head.
Right? What we're doing, sister, is showing that who he is according to the Bible, right? Right, so what type of people you would say? First of all, what type of person your father is? What race or something your father is?
Mixed.
Mixed, and he father is Negro.
Negro, but it makes the family mix up. Like, we have Indian family, we have Chinese family.
No, but like it goes by the seed of your father, who your father is, right? But the male carry the seed, right? If I take seed, say a mango tree from China, bring it in Trinidad and plant it here, do you think I'll get a grape tree or a Portugal tree, or I'll get back the same mango tree?
Same shape.
Same mango tree, right?
Yeah.
So what I use that to show you is that wherever the man is, wherever he put into the woman, that is what she going to bring forth. Society tell you there's a mixed race and it mix this and mix that, right? There's nothing mixed according to the Bible, right?
Is according to what you...
According to what the man is, that is where you're going to bring forth.
All the female.
Right?
Man and female together.
Alright, let me read this.
This is Numbers 1 and verse 18. It says, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees.
You know what pedigree mean?
Areas.
Yeah. Right?
The lineage. After their families, by the house of their fathers,
They also the mothers.
of their fathers,
They also the family on both sides.
the house of their
So
fathers,
go by your father. The male carry the seed. So whatever he put into whoever woman he choose, that is what the race of that child is. You understand? Right? So
But my mother is Indian, Spanish.
yeah, but that have nothing to do with who you is. It goes by your seed of your father.
It doesn't, for me, right? To tell honest truth, it doesn't matter because any day, right? It just like cloning off his body, right? If God really come back in place, right? How will you be? This year, we hear it's come like public to our body. We're not going to be cutting off this by rights. I know plenty. I just read and understand plenty.
Right, but alright, since you read and understand plenty, right? Read this again.
it says, and they declare their pedigrees
And they
after
declare
their
pedigrees,
families,
meaning exactly who they is after the family. Or which side of the family?
by the house of their
By your
fathers.
father. Your father is who
Yeah,
you come through, right?
yeah.
Right. So that what we asked early on. I'd like to say your father mix and your grandfather, right? But you know, as far as like your great grandfather who is,
No.
right? So then it will go according to the spirit, right? So we will read a few things here and show you well who the Israelites is according to the Bible here. And if this agree with the spirit align with this, hopefully it'll be one of them, right? Romans. Yeah, again. I will get Romans, right? Right, so this is the book of Romans.
Actually, I really don't believe this is the second part of the Bible. I don't follow too much the second of the Bible.
What is that, the New Testament?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm asking you a question. If you're going to watch a movie, you just go and watch the first part of the movie and then walk out of the cinema, or you got to watch the whole movie to understand what it means.
No. Why? Because look at it, right? I look at things. What it is a certain part of the year they now bring out the New Testament.
A certain part of the year. The New Testament come after when Christ died. It didn't come a certain part of the year. Right, so we can't go by what it is man telling you, brother.
So this is Luke 24 and verse 44. It says, and he said unto them, these are the words which I speak unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled which were written in the law of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms concerning me. Now, if you're reading the Old Testament, remember he had prophecies and things that had to be fulfilled. So the New Testament is just a fulfillment of the Old Testament, because he had things such as I will raise up a brethren just like unto you, just paraphrasing Deuteronomy 18 and verse 18. So the New Testament is just a fulfillment of the Old Testament. Can't be.
Right? So we're going to show who the Israelites is according to the Bible here. If it is aligned with your spirit, most likely it'll be what are Israelites, right, sister? So this is Romans 11 and verse 1. And verse 1. I say then, had God cast away his people, meaning if God do away with his chosen people, right? Because we know it are many nations of people, but out of all of them he choose one. Right? Just like our woman will have different shoes, but she might choose, you know, this slipper or this person, whatever it is, right? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham of the tribe of Benjamin. So the Most High didn't do away with the people, right? But because of sin, he put the people on that punishment. You understand so far, right? Just like a good parent, if your son or your daughter doing something, you go,
I understand.
right. So bring us here. You get Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1.
So here's Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1. It says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Right, so how we people living according to what we see in society here, we living above everybody. equal to everybody or on the same playing field, or 11 under them had the lowest paying jobs, people on, you know, on the criminal,
Alright.
homeless.
These, I wouldn't say, how to put it? God never chose a man to be a ruler. He is ruler, of course. God is ruler, right?
But never choose a man to be a ruler. What he do with Moses?
He gave Moses to guide us.
The guy, right?
The guide, not to rule over us. The guide.
Right, so when it is he gave Moses the commandments and tell him that he will watch over his people Israel, right? And guide them and rule them, right? What does that mean?
Alright. It's just like people out there, they want to rule over you, but they can't rule over someone. Only one person to rule over you.
And who does this?
That's God. You could guide me, they cannot rule me. Just remember that.
Alright. They put it in two things, right? Could your husband rule over you?
No. Yes, guide me. If I come on the road here to do my little hustle for the house, or helping for the house, yes, tell me to make sure answer my prayers and just what?
Ephesians 5 and okay, what? Okay. Right, so we're doing my what the Bible say, right? No a man say over. Right, so this is Ephesians 5 and verse 23, right? Alright, I will start at start at verse 20.
So this Ephesians 5 and verse 20, it says, giving thanks always for all things unto God and the Father in the name of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God.
Right, so we're supposed to, what they're showing you is we have to do things according to what the Mosai say, right? And we have to have the fear of the Mosai, meaning keeping whatever it is he say to the best of your ability.
Always
Continue reading.
So it says, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God. Wives, submit yourself.
Wives what?
Wives, submit
You don't
yourself.
have to submit, I don't have to, you can rule over me.
Wives, submit yourself.
Submission, right, is being, like if it is I submit to the Mosai, that means he ruling over me. The scripture tell you here that our wives, you have to submit to your husbands, right?
Always remember.
Continue reading.
So it says, unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord.
Right, as unto the what?
As unto the Lord.
Right, if it is you love the Mosai, you're going to obey
Always
this
remember
commandment,
something,
right?
right? Your body is a male and female at the same time. Right?
Or what verse we could find a man bodies are male and female at the same time?
Right? The higher and the lower self.
No, sister, we ask you a question, right?
The
What
higher
verse
and
could you
lower
find that the
self.
Bible say is a man is a
Always
male and
remember.
female at the same time?
If you go back to the starting, who God is, He's a male and a female.
Or what verse we could find is a male and female?
And lower self. Higher self and lower self. Higher self is the male, that is
Let me
spiritual
continue
self,
the
lower
lesson
self
thing
is
first. What time? So we was on right, and these are things that we need to understand that, you know, we can't just go off our own way of thinking, just like as the sister now saying no, she believed that she don't have to listen to a man or she not under a man, right? When you're reading go through the Bible, you realize that the Mosai placed women under the husband. That's what it was made for, right? To be in subjection to the own husband, right? So then therefore now we can't change the laws of the Mosai and say, well, I don't feel, and when I read it, I don't get that in the Bible, or that spirit don't be on me to suck. No, you going off, right? These are the same steps that Israel take in the beginning. That is what have we in this position today, right? All the tribes of Israel went off, right? And serving other gods and all kind of dotishness and sinning against the Most High. Now we in this predicament that we in today, right? You have a piece of me?
There's a precept on all people thinking for the other nations, but let's pull up a quick precept towards what the brother say with what the sister say, right? You see, all people thinking today is what have we in this situation where it is, right? Because we live in an unbalanced world where, you know, the scripture say that how it's supposed to be God, the Son, and then man, and then woman, right? So this 1 Corinthians chapter 11, right, and verse 3, right, quick precept, right? So it says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is
and the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is your father.
It is the man.
It's the man, meaning the father, or either your husband. When a woman married, she father pass on the responsibility to the husband. Not the neighbor, not your friend, not your own self. Right? So we have to understand as a nation of people, there's laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High set for us to follow. And by breaking these things, we are continuing in the same perpetual nonsense that the people love to do, right? Which is breaking the laws, sinning against the word of the Most High, breaking the statutes, breaking the commandments, right? And then now, we think when we say a prayer in the morning, you wake up and, or you leave your Bible on a psalm on top, wherever you leave it, that is what's saving you from, you know, this is that nonsense that we're doing as a nation of people. We have to come out of that mentality, right? And understand that Moses is not a man to be played with, not God to be played with, right? Because what we're doing by telling ourselves these things, and I tell brothers often, the greatest lie that a man or a woman could tell is not to somebody else, it's to your own self. Because as long as you start believing in that lie, there's nobody that could convince you to come out of that. Because in your head, this is what really going on, or this is what I should do, right? Not knowing that you're bringing down your own self, right? So this is the book of Joshua 23 and verse 10. Right, we'll get Deuteronomy 22 and 29 to 30. Right? This is the book of Joshua 23 and verse 10. One man of you shall chase 1,000, for the Lord your God, he it is that fighteth for you, as he had promised you. Right? So again, back to the lesson. We can look to these other nations and them to fight for we, when there always was against the nation of Israel. Right? You don't go look to the enemy if you're in a fight. You see the enemy across the road, because he face a little serious and watching, you're going and run to him for help. Right? He just there to watch you get a beat down. Right? So we can't go to these other nations and them thinking that they're going and help we, not knowing that them just want to see you at the bottom of society, at the bottom of everything. Right? So then therefore we can look to these nations and them for help. Right? What we have to look for help is the Most High and the Son Yahushua. Right? Yahushua. Right? Don't think that we could help ourselves, or the nations could help we, or Esau somehow going and change your mind and turn around and give you a helping hand. Right? We can't even save your own self. We need the Most High to help us. Right? So again, it says, one man of you shall chase 1,000. Right? So how we going and do that? By coming back to even onto the way of the Most High, and coming back to him by keeping the law, statute, and commandments. Right? That's the only way out. Bring us out.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 30.
Five.
Excuse. Right? Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 30. It says, how should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight, except their rock had sold them, and the Lord had shut them up.
Right? We now see nothing in Joshua just now there, right? That one man will be able to chase 1,000. You can't do that without having spiritual power on you, right? So bring it again, King.
So it says, how should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight?
Right, so how this going to happen without you having the divine protection of the Most High? Right, because right now a man can't even defend himself properly against not even our next brother, right, or an enemy of one of the other nations and them. Right, so to go up against this amount of people as one man, literally right now that will be impossible. Right, so we have to also use the common sense that God gave us and know earlier going on. For me to obtain this, it ain't going to be something that I could just say, well, you know, today I could go there and fight 1,000 or 10,000 men, or, right? It has to be that we have to come back to the ways of the Most High to obtain the mercy from the Most High so that He could bless us with this strength, right? Continue the process. Morning,
Yeah,
sister. You have a minute for the word?
So this is Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 31. It says, for their rock is not as our rock, even our enemies.
Yeah, that is the talking about. Right? So this is the book of Zechariah 12 and verse, we start at verse 8. Right, you could hold Psalms 18 and verse 24. Psalm 34, sorry. Psalms 18 and verse 24. So this is the book of Zechariah 12 and verse 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Right? It ain't talking about the people that inhabiting that land right now. Right? It's talking about the true Israelites and them of the land. Right? But we also know as the Bible says, when the true Israelites return to that land, it will have peace. Right now we're seeing war, destruction, right, and mass killing going on in these places, right? So it can't be that the people that there right now are the chosen people of the land, right? From the top. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. Right, and we know the amount of people that David put to death, right? And that the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them. Right, so even a feeble man in that day will be able to put down thousands, tens of thousands, right? Because we might have some brothers that, you know, not really into, you know, war or fighting and all these different things, right? You might be a more peaceful brother, but in that particular day, the Most High God put that spirit upon you to bring down these nations on them, right? So we can't even say, well, I not doing that and I go to stand back and watch Marvin down the road do it, and you know, I go give him my strength and then I have more strength to take down more. It don't work like that, right? So long as the Most High place that strength and that power upon you, these are the things that will be accomplished. Right? The word of the Most High will go out and come back void. Right? And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. Right? So we cannot run after these nations for help, knowing that these nations, right? We can't seek after these nations for help, knowing that these nations will not be destroyed. Right? So what good would it profit us to run to these nations and them for help, knowing that them can't even help their own self? Right? We see in America right now can't even help itself against Iran. right? So looking to these nations for help means that, we just sinking ourselves even deeper in trouble, right? The Most High is the only person, Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai is our only way out of this that we see in today, that the problems of the world can't fix on the own, right? But only with Yahweh Shai and the Most High Father himself, Yahweh, will the nation of Israel be saved, right? There is no other way. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all nations, right? So run into the nations, not making no sense, because they will be destroyed. That come against Jerusalem, right?
So it is Psalms chapter 18 and verse 34. It says, He teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by mine arm. Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy right hand hath holded me up, and thy gentleness hath made me great.
Right, so you see in the verses that the Most High call us a worm, right? But it say what? Read it from the top again.
So it says, He teacheth me my hands to war.
Right, we don't see a worm warring with a bird and hitting them a uppercut or a jump kick or all these things, right? So for the Most High to say that He will give us what?
My hands to war.
Right, so for the Most High to teach me hands to war, even that gentle brother that I be on the computer whole day and no zeal in him towards fighting and all these things, the Most High God place that spirit upon him, right? To fight and defend the nation of Israel, also to defend the name of the Most High, and to take vengeance upon these nations and them, right? So it makes no sense looking to these nations and them for help, knowing that we have our own help, because the gods that these nations have is only false gods that can't even help them in the day and time of trouble, right? As you see in COVID, all them the Indian people and them training with Mother Lakshmi and Shiva and wherever God they're serving, right? And saying that this God not real, because it is not real, right? The Most High say He give them false gods to worship, right? You have a piece of thing?
So this is Isaiah 41 and verse 29. So it says, He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might He increased strength. Even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Right? So to go what the brother saying, right? Most High will put His Spirit for us.
To get a flyer, King?
Right? So the Most High will put upon us a spirit where we will be literally, like these superheroes, right? All these comics and all these Marvel superheroes actually, things that they take off from the Bible. The Most High says that, He would do unto us, super strength, right? Able to lift mountains and able to, destroy buildings and waste cities and things, right? That is the spirit the Most High God put on His people, right? Because the spirit that these nations have right now, which is to do wickedness and all these inventions and things, these things would fail, right? Because we see in that not even things that we people marveling after, like the guns and destruction and things, right? These things can't even help them because other nations coming and overpowering them with them own thing, right? So these are Lamentations 4 and 17. So it says, as for us, our eyes as yet failed, or for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Right? So even right here in Trinidad, people feel that, because America is great, America could protect us, right? Look all with Venezuela, when the whole thing happened with Venezuela and thing, right? Our people thinking that, Venezuela, right? So all people thought that, Venezuela and thing, right? America could have protect us if anything, break out between them, right? All people was literally seeing the signs, when they was bringing down some type of war, helicopter, drones, and all these things, right? So we people was watching these things and saying that, yeah, America could probably help it, and all these things, but these nations can't even help themselves, right? So we had to look onto the Most High. We had to look and make sure that everything that we do is in truth and sincerity, so that we could get the kingdom and to rule over these nations especially.
So that we say Shalom, Israel. Keep moving towards the mark, which is making it into the kingdom. Right? So that we say Shalom.